6 of the Two Normal Guys podcast. Once again joined by Jack, and we're delighted to have our first guest on the podcast. We've got Robert, Rab MC. How you doing, Rab?
Alright lads, how you doing? Happy to be on.
And we've got Cal Hanna as well. How you doing, Cal? All good?
Aye, doing good, mate. Buzzing to be here.
Good stuff. Now, you're both on here because you both had babies at 21, I believe. Not you didn't have babies, but obviously your female counterparts had babies at 21. So we just wanted to bring you on and kind of delve into that and kind of interesting stuff. So, first of all, what was your reaction when you found out? We'll go to Rab first of all. What was your reaction? Did you shite it? Were you happy? Obviously you were happy, but were you a bit taken back or what?
I obviously wasn't. I was also a bit shaking still as well.
Right, aye.
Aye, because
They're all kind of flashing before your eyes almost.
Aye, because also I never told her that most. I was staying with my mum and dad, so
That's fine. What about you, Cam? Were you shite it or were you?
Mate, fucking shiting, it's an understatement, man. I was watching like, honestly, I couldn't have thought any worse at the time, man. I was, mate, wasn't prepared at all. At all. But it was the initial shock of it, man, that just pure set me right back. And then once I got my head around it, because I was thinking nobody would support me or anything.
Yeah.
But see, once I found out like I had such a good support system, like at the house and with her family as well, made it so much easier. And then I started getting buzzing for it after like, I found out we'd have a bit of support and stuff. You know what I mean?
So you kind of jumped into that, but what was your kind of family's reaction when you told them? Were they?
Oh,
were they
mate,
saying?
buzzing.
Buzzing, aye.
Oh,
You the same,
mate.
Rab? You the same, Rab? Just buzzing.
me, I was just in the space there. I was shaking myself. My stomach was turning to anybody. Like, I remember just sitting in my room like, fuck, how am I going to say this? What am I going to say? Like, I thought I was going to get fucking put in the buzz. But no, but the actual initial reaction was heavy good, man. Like, they're really happy.
It's a very exciting thing to happen, obviously, isn't it? Jack, you can dive into next one. 'Cause you've done fuck all so far.
Just something like, obviously it's a very positive thing to have a child. It's a very happy time, but what would you say is the biggest positive, or what would you say has been the biggest positive for yourself and obviously your partner having a wee guy kicking about? Really, what do you most enjoy about it?
Just like watching them like grow and develop like every single day, man. Like, it's quite happy just to see them like do things like pure things like climbing, like crawling a bit, like his class.
Yeah.
Is it a bit weird? You're kind of mini version of you, just like cutting about your house.
Yeah.
Like,
Like, it must be so weird. Like, your Wayne, obviously Cal's Wayne's the jump, but your Wayne just looks exactly like you. Like watching a wee mini
I
you,
look
like
like
at the end. That's quality, man. That's absolutely brilliant.
What would you say is the worst thing about it? Like,
Mate, fuck
Hell,
you,
but
man.
then, yeah.
The worst thing, probably getting
Aye.
shit on you, man.
I
Thank you, stinking, man. Horrible.
Daddy's sick, actual
Bugs,
sick
man.
to do as well, man. Like actual adult puke.
That's a kind of disgusting question, but how often do they kind of shite and spew it? Is it often, aye?
Well, it's different probably. It's different for me because obviously Charlie's quite young, so he's sick every day. But after a bottle, a wee bit of sick and that'll come up. But shite's once a day. I mean, like,
Sometimes
and I'm like,
3, 4.
are you?
Does she change the nappies, or does the mom do that, or do you the mom? Sorry, do you change the nappies, or?
Mostly they both like she's no in, I'm going to change the nappy, like change it. They can't sit
Do you ever do that? You know, you ever do that thing where like Taylor or your girlfriend's working, and so you'll get the baby, and then you can feel that it's shat itself, but it's like 15 minutes till Taylor comes home. Then you're like, just sit there, son. And then Taylor comes home, and you're like, oh, there you go. And then
yeah, I think I do the spell, like it's bogging, like it's actually bogging.
Mate,
At what
it takes
age? Sorry, on you go.
it does take a bit of getting used to, man, because like see when they're first born, man, shites are like tiny, aren't they? And then all of a sudden, man, they do big massive ones. And I had one that was like gravy with lumps in it, man. I actually had whitey. Wifey, I had to stop halfway through the change, mate, have a wee pit stop in the toilet, get back in.
I mean, the first time, like, Teddy done a proper shit, like, it was so smelly. We had, like, pegs on our noses, man, and that just, like, run out the roof. It was so stinking, like, I was like, I can't do that, I can't do it.
So, at what time does it change from being a relative rabbit drop into a totally?
Overnight.
Mate,
Is it overnight? Actually,
so you want
what
to
age
start
roughly?
eating solid food, like, so you want to start eating, like, proper, like, adult food, or, like, when you give them the baby pouches, that's when the shit starts to come, man.
But, do you know, this is so not where I thought this was going, but I'm fucking enjoying it straight enough.
The worst thing I've had with right, man, was me man was greeting. We thought maybe he's got a bit of wind or something, man, so patting his back. Shite. Yeah, I mean, so he'd obviously went right up his back, man, and I'm patting it.
You came and scudded it.
And obviously, it wasn't rubbed into his clothes or anything, but when I'm patting it into the clothes, man, it came right through me, and it's like, oh my god.
They're the actual worst, even you can actually see the yelliness coming through his clip with the baby go. Oh, man.
That's stinking, mate. It's stinking.
Stop doing shite like that. I'm going to stay on the topic of shite. At what point what age did they become independent? As in, they didn't need an nappy. What age is that?
No
I
reason.
think that.
Roughly 4? Is that old? That's old.
I think that's. I don't know. That might be quite old. Obviously, I'm quite a wee bit off it, but some people are body trained for like 1 minute.
I mean, I'm just taking it day by day. I actually don't have a Scooby look what's coming next. I just, take it as it comes. I don't know whether when they start. But I didn't know when they started drinking like normal water, normal milk until I knew he was one. Like,
you just kind of judge it by like.
Yeah.
You kind of play it by ear, and if you like it, you like it.
Taylor seems to know. The mother always knows.
So see on that positive negatives, was there anything that any positives or negatives that you didn't expect? Anything that kind of has came with it that you didn't expect to happen, but you're like, this is just an awesome part of it.
It's like having a wee best pal kicking about the house. Like, I'm a big Wayne, so
I know.
it's
Yes, you are.
it's class just having like a wee best pal and see when he starts watching. Let's give you doing that. I'll be right next to him.
The pretty good excuse to watch shows like that, eh? Like, Wayne wants to watch it, but really you want to watch it, but you're like, okay.
Before he was born, it was a bit of a joke, but now it's fine. The way he's watching it.
You get away with it.
I think one of the best positives for me is like, obviously I'm quite busy myself, so see if I'm tired, I'll come in and be like, wee man needs a nap, up to bed. He's sitting there wide awake. I'm KO'd.
The best part is actually just like, spending proper time with him, man. Like, because sometimes I do deliveries, so sometimes I don't get until like 11:30. So let's say you get to see him like the next morning. He's off. It's cool good.
How early did he wake up? Is it early or?
Mate, it changes. Like, well, see when he was like really younger, he'd wake up like 3-4 times a night, man. Like the sleepless nights actual day happen. But you know, man, he sleeps like a log. Man, he sleeps till like 9 o'clock.
Aye, that's good.
Yeah.
Is he the same Callum or is he different? Is he younger?
Charlie. Well, see, because you go through different stages, right? So you go through like big growth spurts and leaps and that. So see when he's not going through a leap, he'll sleep for like 9 o'clock, 9:30, all the way through till like 6:30, and then he'll get up for a ball and go back down till about 9. So he is a pure good sleeper, but now he's going through a leap, mate. So he's getting up at like 2, then 4, then 6, and wanting a ball every time, man. So it is good.
Sorry, Biff, for you. Jack?
Let me see. Other questions. How would you say you've matured? Like, because obviously it is a big responsibility, so how would you say you've matured to the role of being a young father?
Know how you used to always want to go out and used to always want to
Can't do anything, but you still can, but still like...
It doesn't bother me. Like,
Yeah.
see if I miss a night out and it's not a birthday and it's not a big occasion, it doesn't bother me. Like, I'm not just sitting in the house or thinking about going out at the end of work anymore. And like, I don't know about you, but the drive that I've got for it, like, I've just got a drive in me, mate, to provide and be the best I can for him. You know what I mean?
I'm just been working constantly, man. Like, because you need to bring in the fucking pennies. You know what I mean? Like, see, actually feed your family. You actually do need to work for it. So you do. Like, you're not actually that bothered about being out for a mad random shite night out. Like, you'd rather just chill in the house, like making get a sleep and all makes you a bit of sleep you lose. So see, like when you've got a babysitter, like and you sleep, like, it's fucking class.
Do you think it's changed like your view of what's important in life? Like you're prioritising differently now?
Definitely.
How quickly do you think he's adapted to the role of father, if you will? Because you essentially go from not being a dad to being a dad straight away. How long do you think it took you to fully mould into the role?
Till I got a bit bigger, man. See, when Teddy was like a baby, I didn't have a Scooby, man. Like, we've not got many babies in our family, so like, see, like holding a wee baby was pure alien to me. So, it took me quite a while to get used to it.
Like, see myself, like, my missus Colleen, she's always been about babies. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's always been a baby kicking about in her family, so she was brand new with him. And everything was going fine with us, like, during the birth, until the very, very end. She needed an emergency C-section, so I took on the role of a lot of stuff, like, straight away, and I was made useless. The nurse put him on me for the first feed, the nurse burped him the first time, like, the midwife, sorry. So I was dependent on a few people for the first week, but then after the first week, because I knew I had to, like, take a lot of the feeds and that to let Colleen heal up, I kind of adapted quite quickly in that, and obviously it helps when they're not doing mega shites back then.
See, I can't take us into the next bit you were saying about the birth, right? I don't know if I'm just being naive because I've not been through a situation, but as the dad, are you kind of useless at the birth? I've got this image of like the women's giving birth and the nurses are there and you're just kind of sat there. Is it like that, or imagine?
Mate, I was in the room within like a matter of minutes and the baby was born. Like, like you're just in and out basically.
Oh, do you not? I thought you sat there full dinner for like 14 hours and that, no?
Oh,
Yeah, I was there for 12, man.
No, me and Taylor were in the hospital for like 7:30 in the morning, right? But she was going for a section, so they prioritised it. So it was like people that had like male veins or health conditions, they went first. So we were sitting in the hospital till like 3 o'clock, and then we went doing it. I think it was like 3:30. So I can't even remember. It was, but it was just pure ages, and then she was in getting an epidural, and I must have sat outside for about an hour, and then I was in for about 2 minutes, and Teddy was born.
That's mad. So why did he put the people first? What's the point now?
Just in case, like, it happens, like it can be quite dangerous because somebody's had a lot of veins. As another section, like, it can be dangerous for the baby.
Oh, right, that makes sense.
See, I was in for 12 hours, but Charlie was born during all this pandemic, so...
Was he? Yeah.
So she actually got taken in 2 days before he was born, and she was in 2 days after as well, so I wasn't even allowed to go up and visit or nothing, mate. I was only allowed in when she went into her labour suite, so she got taken in at like 5 in the morning. I was there for 6, and then I get out until like 7. So it was a mental day, and it was a pure slow process, but obviously section happened real fast. Like, that was rapid, mate. That was so quick, but
cut open.
but I went out, man. See, after it, I went out down the stair, and obviously the hospital at that time was shutting at like 7 o'clock at night, so the slidey doors that sent you, they weren't opening. Went out and I was on the phone to her mum, and I was like, I'm just heading up the road, and just going to the motor. Put my hand in my pocket to get motor keys, mate. I'd left the motor keys on her bed, and they took her away up to our floor. So I had to pure sneak in a fire door, get back into the hospital and get my car keys so I could go up the road. Mental, mate.
So how, it's going to obviously be just between you two, but how different was it?
Yeah.
Lockdown versus non-lockdown, like, were you quite restricted, Callum, in how you could visit and kind of stuff like that?
Aye, mate, I was like no allowed near. Somebody had to bring the two of them out the building before I could put them in the car. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I was not allowed up at all.
Mate, I can't even imagine what it'd be like.
Mate, it's hard.
The pandemic, man, it must be so hard. Like, because obviously you want to do so much, but then you're restricted to what you want, like what you can do. Like, I would able to go up and visit, like, whenever I wanted, really. Like, bring her up like magazines and like just make sure she was like just make sure she had everything that she needed. But see with the pandemic, I wouldn't be able to do nothing. I wouldn't even just be sitting there ourselves really.
Yeah.
Right, there you go. Sorry, there you go.
Oh, sorry. Would you do anything different if you had anything, like any advice for yourself going into it? Would you do anything different, or would you do more of a certain thing? Just
I don't know, man. Like, it's very, like, there's no rule book about it. Like, you kind of just learn. Like, you just kind of learn it by yourself. But probably what we could have done there was probably save more money before it, because it costs a packet, man. Like baby milk and nappies and shit like that. Like, it costs so much, and then obviously you've got your own life to live. So, I think probably saving more money. I'd give myself that advice.
Mate,
Yeah.
see, if I could change one thing, I'd like to have had a house sorted for when he was born. I'd like to planned it a bit more. Like Charlie wasn't planned for us. You know what I mean? It felt to us as much as it was to everybody else. So
Yeah.
I'd really like a wee bit more planning, but I wouldn't change anything to the world, mate. I wouldn't change nothing.
would you give yourself any advice if you could?
It's a good question.
No.
I don't know, man. Like, see, because I know a lot more now.
Mhm.
I don't know.
I'm the same, man. Like, I was quite fortunate because I wasn't driving when we found out, but I passed my test like a week later. So, see, if I wasn't driving, probably the hardest thing ever. Like, because she doesn't drive either. So, see,
Yeah.
like, I get away knowing enough buses and fucking
Yeah.
I mean,
absolute nightmare. Like, see, now you can just jump, get in the car seat and just go wherever. But see, with it, like, so you've got a bit of freedom, but see, like, people have lanes and they don't drive. It must be so hard,
Yeah.
man.
so see, Brad, you took Ted on holiday.
Aye. We went
What
in.
was that like? Was it? Take me through the plane ride first of all. Was it good? Was it a nightmare?
Mate, he was fucking loving it. Like, Terry's a pure attention seeker, so he was just pure trying to draw everybody's attention to him.
Probably.
We were see when it, like, obviously on the plane there, he was talking to, like, he wasn't talking obviously, but he was like engaging with people in front of us. And then on the way back, like, we had a nighttime flight, so like, people just chilling, do their own thing, like read a book or whatever. We were sitting in this booth with a spare seat, and there was like 3 across us. So this guy, I think it was a woman, it was a guy. This guy's got his AirPods in, reading his book, and Terry's going, the guy's not going to know it. He's just looking for a bit of attention. But you see, let's see for landing, I was a bit of a 6-7 months, so I thought he's going to find this quite hard. But he fell us. We got him to sleep just before the landing, so we played it quite cool. And obviously, he woke up on the run.
What was he like? Was it a hotel you were in when you were there?
It was Harati, it was like own house, like they've got the house there. So
Right.
yeah.
So did he go in the pool and that?
We took him in the pool. It was, yeah, he loved it. So he did. He didn't like the cold pool, obviously, but
It does.
It was a really good holiday, and see, because of the heat, he was just sleeping a lot, so it made it a lot easier. Like, we could like just chill and have a couple of drinks while he was sleeping.
That's quite good. That's actually really good to be fair. Would you go on another one then, definitely?
We're planning to go to Disneyland in December, if we're allowed to, obviously, but so it'll be good to go there. So he'll be about 18 months. So
It's meant to. I seen him with one that day.
he'll plan it.
Freaked me out, mate. What? That proper freaked me out. Right, here's a weird one, right? But, not a weird one, but would you have another one? And
Aye.
so would you want a boy or would you want a girl this time?
Oh, mate, it doesn't matter, man. I just want that one.
Man, like, you can't really pick, obviously, but obviously we'd like to have a wee lassie because we've got a wee boy there, but
So how
Mate,
how
if I had a
so you
wee
wait
lassie-
away, like,
Oh,
sorry?
if I had a wee lassie and she started doing healthy stuff wee lassies do, mate, I'd be going mental, man.
yeah, I always think that, like, I'm so passionate, like, first one was a boy, because obviously, like, as a boy, you know yourself, like, what today, kind of, like, but see with a lassie, I wouldn't have a Scooby, mate, like,
Mate, I know, man. But it's totally different changing a wee lassie to changing a wee boy. You know what I mean? Even that's different, let alone try to base them.
I know.
That's how long do you think you'd wait? Do you think you'd date straight away or a couple of years?
Well, there's 3 years between me and my brother, so I've always been brought up having somebody kind of similar to my age. And it's good because when he started doing stuff like playing football, and I would start playing football, so we could always just go out the 2 years. So I'd like a wee 3-year gap, but I mean I think it's going to be looking like maybe a 5-year for us. just so as we can get ourselves set up as a family. You know what I mean?
I definitely. The time needs to be right. Like you can't just like. We'd all love to have like 4 and 5 lanes, a big family, but it costs a lot. And like, see with this pandemic, you don't even know how long it's going to last, man. Like we could be wearing fucking face masks till the end of next year. You know what I mean?
I know. That's mad. I mean, think about it. If it didn't go away, like that would be all your veins would know it. For like just this world.
Mate, it'd be horrible for them. Just know that horrible, man. Can't about the park with a face mask on.
Literally.
See, going back to something that you said before, Rab, where you were like, you used to hold it, you'd shite yourself.
Aye.
Has that changed massively for you now?
What do you mean, like?
Like, so see now, see somebody gives me a baby, I'll be like, like pure awkward, but I imagine if you had one, then it would change.
It's funny, right? Because, like, see with Teddy, like, I can throw him about the ball, like, just hold him, like, normal, but see if somebody else gave me the vein, I'd feel like I'd never had a vein before, like...
You're still nervous, eh?
I still feel nervous, because obviously it's not my vein, but I don't know, I used to be, like, see before, I used to be so awkward around babies, like, when you say I do a vein, but I'm getting better, obviously, like, we had the wee man's party at the start of the month, so I had to talk to Wayne's in, but it's like, it's now people have just got that way of speaking to Wayne's, like, I've never had that before.
Yeah. Like, see the thing for me, man, like, I couldn't hold MD's vein, and I couldn't even hold Charlie when he was born, I was rubbish at it. But I've gotten better at it, but you get used to it. I don't know if you held many babies, like, straight after you had your wee man, but see when I was holding Charlie, I was getting used to his size, and then her sister would give me her baby, and she's a wee bit bigger, so she doesn't want held in the same way, she maybe wants to sit up a bit more. So, although you're still holding a baby, like, that baby's more developed, so they want a different type of hold, and so it's quite weird adjusting to, like, different stages of a baby.
That wee baby just wants like a cuddle, whereas like a bigger baby wants to like, sit up against you. But see, when I'm thinking about it, I think I've only ever held one Wayne since Teddy. I think her pal had a Wayne, but he was tiny, so I was actually so nervous. Like, do you know, like when you're a wee boy, like if you're a wee boy and there's a new Wayne in the family, you'd have to sit on the couch with like your arms. That's what I had to do.
Cam, you do like a gender reveal thing? Sorry.
Aye, so obviously we used to get loads of folk, man, doing like the big balloons and all that, right? So we decided quite early on we wanted to do a gender reveal, and it was going to be balloons. But then maybe like halfway to that stage of, right, we're definitely doing it, Colleen was like to me, like, see if you don't want a balloon, you can get what you want. And I was like, well, I've seen confetti cannons, man, so I quite fancy one of them. So I got this confetti cannon, and she got a big balloon to pop. Mate, we were inside, man, all the family in front of us and that. I let this thing off, mate. It went everywhere, man. Honestly, mate, you couldn't see my brother. I aimed it right at him, but like, I was just holding it, mate. It was just aimed at him, and you couldn't see him. And then I was like, what the fuck, man? Still finding bits of it a month later after we'd cleaned up. And then after I popped it, but I was like, yo, that's a lot of confetti, and it was like, do not use inside for outside use only, man. So, just got the head in it.
What, mate?
You were obviously your gender reveal, that was class.
I was a good day, we had it that alongside Rugby Club, but mate, I was for certain that we were going to have a wee lassie, like, I don't know,
Yeah, that was the same, man. After I thought, wee lassie, couldn't see it different.
Like, see, because my dad's first two were wee lassies, and her dad's was first two were wee lassies as well, so I was like, we're going to have a wee lassie as well, so we popped the balloon, and it was obviously blue and actual pure, like, edge spearter, basically.
I was going to say, because you popped, was it you had like a big, like a knife almost to pop the balloon, right?
Aye,
so then he jumps like that, and you tell him, oh, he's stuck.
DVC the video, actually just got leaked from one end to the
You expected about 60 folk to turn up?
What, mate?
You expected like 60 folk to turn up? We rocked up to this Alan Glen, this wee room, there's about 200 folk, and we're like, oh, right, mad busy, mate.
I remember the tailor couldn't drink, so I was basically drinking for her, so I was just walking about with 2 drinks at a time. I was steaming, man, like, I remember getting home and I was actually creating in the bed, because we were having a wee boy, like, actual pure fun.
Did you want to have a boy? Or did you want to have
Mate, see the way I see it, like, obviously, I think every wants to have a wee boy, but
yeah.
obviously, with didn't it mean, like, some people are fortunate to even have a baby, like, you think I just don't take it for granted, but I also have a wee boy first time in prison.
Yeah.
Now if we had a wee lass, I'd be buzzing for it, obviously.
Do you want to have a boy, Graham?
See, I was dead certain I was going to be last, so I don't even care for that.
Aye.
So, see, when the boy came with me, I was like, and I was speechless, mate. I was like, a wee boy, man, I couldn't believe it.
Yeah. See, if we go back to the fact that you're holding your baby, right? See, when you're giving it, you kind of go, fuck.
Aye.
So much responsibility in such a tiny body, but you know what to do.
You know, weird when you think about it, like, that is literally your whole life. It's just,
Yeah, your whole it's just changed the movie.
Nah, it's honestly it's so bizarre, mate. Like, see when she gave me Teddy's, like, I'd say, like, freedom for the first time. I didn't have a clue, mate, how to, like, hold the bottle or anything like that. Like, she's actually to do everything. Like, remember Teddy was crying, Taylor Juro was still in. I don't know what to do. I would just get the nurse, get the midwife in, and he's a horn.
So see, what was I going to say there? So see, when it comes to like naming them, how quickly do you do that process?
You
Is there,
prepare for it, mate. Like we
are
spent.
you talking about it months in advance? As soon as you find out it's a boy, is that when you're finding
Yeah,
out?
Mate, you could be 2 months into the pregnancy and be certain on one name, and then like a couple of months later, like, nah, I don't like it anymore, and then you just change it. Like,
Did you jump about from different names?
we had all sorts of different names, so we did.
Go on, hit us with you.
But what?
Hit us with you. What was you going for?
Mate, I think at the start we liked Parker, I think, and then I mean, like also nice names, and then we were like, I can't remember what other names there was, but we liked Theo. I don't think Taylor was too keen on Teddy at the time, and then she obviously came around. And it was
What's
like,
Teddy named after? Is it?
it's not really named after Eden. Like he's
I
just
don't know.
anything like. But see, now that he's born, like I don't think he could have any other name. Like he just looks like.
I don't know. Is Charlie named after anything? Cam? Is he named after that?
My dad spoke Charlie, but see the way that came about was we'd obviously, as a couple, man, you always talk about baby names and that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we'd always quite like Jax, with an X. So we were thinking like we'd have a middle name because none of us have a middle name, mate. So we're like, we need to give away a middle name. Though for like a meaning, I didn't just because we always wanted one ourselves. So we're like, oh, what can the middle name be? So we're thinking, when we found out it was going to be a wee boy, we were like, aye, Charlie is the middle name. And we were going to call him Cashton as his first name. So it'd be Cashton Charlie Hannah. But we just switched to Charlie and the Cashton ring in Burger King one day. And that was it, mate.
I thought you would say animal thing.
No. We just switched to Charlie and the Cashton ring, mate. That was it. Stuck.
No, mate.
I love
We
it,
were
man.
obviously Teddy's got two middle names. Like his first middle name's John, because obviously after her granda, and then obviously his second middle name's Robert. Like my name's Robert and my dad's name's Robert. So kind of wanted to keep that one going.
The young rap MC.
Yeah. And
Aye.
then
Move.
Like, see, your middle names have meaning and all that now, but like, our idea was to have meaning for the middle name originally, but all middle names have a reason because they've been somebody's middle name or somebody's first name down the line, so we know that name can maybe have a bit more meaning in the future.
I mean, you
Yeah.
your own generation.
That's a good point, actually. That's a really good point. When you say that.
I don't have a middle name either, Niadi. I don't have one.
You know,
I
did
don't
you
know.
have girls' names ready? Or did you have a thought process behind a girl's name if it was going to be a girl?
Well, I was pure thinking we're going to have a lassie, and I like Charlie for a lassie and all, you know what I mean? But we were thinking maybe Lily is a wee lassie's name.
So nice, yeah.
See now, I can't even see some of the names. It's just a pure board now. Like, see, trying to see there's so many names getting flung about. It's actually hard to remember which ones were actually in contention.
Honestly,
Wait,
we
even
had
you
more
said-
lassie names. We had more girl names than boy names.
How's with you?
Yeah,
What do you got then?
I
No,
think Taylor
remember
Lewis
it?
having a boy. So should I
Does
say
everything?
what?
Sorry, anyway.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like Taylor knew we were having a boy, because I think then I obviously thought we were having a lassie, so she was just more, not really thought about. the last names at one point. Like,
did she know? Obviously, it was saying. Did she know before you guys knew? And was that a surprise to you? But
no, she never knew as in black and white. She knew, but she had like I think she's like see scans. I don't know how to read scans. Like that's just a something on a screen.
Yeah, it just looks like a wee black picture.
I don't get any mail on the earth knows how to read a scan. Like it's just
yeah, it's just fucking a wee black
moving thing. See the midwife's got like there's these wee ears and these legs.
So see how you done that gender reveal.
Aye.
How does that? What's the process of that so that you don't find out?
What
how does the kind of communication work?
See with the balloon, someday you get a gender scan, right? So the gender scan also reveals also you can pick to choose whether you open that envelope and see what the gender is, or you can give it to these companies that do the balloons or like the confetti.
Right, okay.
So the only people who know is the people with that envelope, like the people who open that envelope basically.
Yeah.
Like she would have, like I think it was her sister, so Olivia would have gave it to this person that done the balloons, and then she would make up the balloons, put all the confetti in it, and then see when we got the balloon, like obviously seen it, Scott, was like this big. Yeah, like you couldn't see through it. So obviously that's basically what happened.
It's quite clever because it was like a big balloon, but you could see that there was confetti inside, but you couldn't see what colour it was.
The colour.
So everyone was like staring at it, like, ah, oh,
see when she wrote it, and I was like, what is it? What's in there?
So did Olivia know? She knew.
I don't know.
Then tell the women.
No, she didn't. No, I don't think she did know. I think she just gave her the envelope and she just posted it through the door. That's what she done.
She definitely took a sneak peek, mate.
Mate, see if we have another one, I wouldn't want to find it. I just want to wait. I think that'd be so class, just wait until.
But then see when it comes to like getting the toys and doing up the room and that.
Mate, just
when you can go paint it yellow.
No, just make it kind of like grey and white, mate. Because like a baby's room, kind of just.
You baby golf, mate. What?
Yeah.
I
never said black and red. I said grey and white.
Black on black.
What's the baby's thing to do?
What, mate?
What's the baby's thing to do? Like just do whatever. Do they have like yourselves? Do you see a lot of yourselves in the child?
I don't know, because Terry just crawls about fucking knocking down candle tea light holders and all that. Like he's absolutely into everything. But I don't do much of that, to be honest. But
a bit crawling about knocking down. Did you have to baby-proof your house?
You need to get like because we've got a glass table, so you need to get like plastic corner things.
Right.
We still need to get a baby gate for the kitchen, but.
What's the funniest thing to do? Like, what's somebody always do that make you pure buckle?
Yeah.
See if
I seen Taylor's Instagram story yesterday and he was just like shouting at the camera, like fiddle with his face, man.
See if you flash flash a phone light in Teddy's face, he'll just like pure open up. As if he knows he's getting his picture taken.
That's class.
See, I'm still in early stages, mate. So he's developed his own personality that we can see, obviously, because we're with him all the time. But he doesn't really do anything that's too, like, crawling about or anything. Like, he lets his head up and all that. And he is a lot more aware than what he was, like, even last month. You know what I mean? But he's always smiling, man. He's a pure happy wee guy. You know what I mean? So I love it when he smiles. See when he smiles, mate? No better feeling in the world.
Yeah, I got makes it so much easier. Like Teddy's up your happy baby as well. Like you can arrange it just greet all the time, man. I think that would be constant even.
But I annoy him, man. I know him because I'll sit and play with him and tickle him and he'll just go big petty lip, big petty lip. But funny, man. You know what I mean? It is funny. The faces they pull, and then even trying to talk. See when they're trying to talk and they're just making noises. It's good, it's cute, you know, like you see them try to do it, you know what I mean?
It's like being funny without intending, like they don't know why it's funny, and that's kind of what makes it funny, you know what I mean?
It's just hilarious, just you see like the faces he pulls, man, it's absolute, like you couldn't do it see if you tried it, you couldn't do it if you tried. Like it's just pure natural faces.
See, this is quite a weird question, but see godparents, do you need to have godparents?
No, we don't need to, mate. Like, you don't need to. We've not even got godparents. I've got guide parents because it's like a non-religious thing.
You get what parents?
Guide, like, So, like, see if it's like a non-religious thing, it's called guide parent, so it's basically just like they see it as somebody to guide you through life. But I think if it's made a religious thing, it's called godparents. Like, we never done it in a church.
Right.
Like,
What is it? Is a godparent not? It's going to go a bit dark, but if you croak it, they take the wing.
You can have a Christian, and that would, like, or a baptism, that would mean therefore you would have godparents. But we had a naming day, so that was like not like, because we don't really follow any religion, so we didn't want to put that on him as well. So we're like, we'll just have a naming day. So like a guide parent is basically just the same thing, but non-religious.
So how did you choose them without annoying other people? Because to me that seems like a kind of best man thing, where a lot of different people seem like they're in the ring for it, and you need to choose. Was it like that? Or?
Nah, it was a lot. I think it was quite easy because like it's family first, isn't it? Like,
aye, 2 days. That's fair enough. Right. This is quite weird. What would you want your son to be when they grow up?
Something that makes him happy, mate, because I've done a lot of shit that I don't like. And I'm finally doing something that I love, mate. So see, as long as he's doing something he loves, couldn't give a fuck. As long as it's not your fucking studies, but...
aye.
Ran off on a tangent, I did not think it was going to...
No, I'm
just... what she's been on the fan.
No, I says as long as it's no.
No, I don't know.
Fuck that.
What about you,
mate, just whatever makes him happy. Like, as long as he's living a happy life, you know, he'd rather be stuck in a fucking dead end job. You're not like, because that can drive you to fucking everything, man. So, I'm happy.
What do you think your attitude's going to be on things like drinking when they grow up, trying to be more relaxed because the way you wear as Wayne's? Not to suggest you're alcoholics, but obviously we're all we all drank way before we should. Do you think you'll be relaxed about it?
I'll be relaxed, man. I don't think I'd be too, as long as it's not like 12. I'd like my house to be the house, like, how you always had that one pal, it's like, I'm wondering mine, man, my mum and dad. I want my house to be dead, the one that they feel safe in, that see if they want to come round and have a wee booze, they can come round and have a wee booze, and I can monitor it. I'd much rather they were in the house than kicking about the park with fucking black gloves on when it's snowing, smoke a fag.
Aye, definitely, man. Like, you know, like, it depends on how they behave, like how they react to having a drink. Like, see if they're out fucking getting out their nut in a mad random field, you don't want that. Like, you'd rather pure controls, like, and you knew like what they were drinking. Like, you knew they weren't drinking fucking a quarter boat Lens with fucking sausage jack. You know what I mean? Like, pure utter shite going through their system. Like, I think if you introduce it well, they'll react to it well.
See if they're young enough or not, they won't have a clue, mate, if it's a bottle of vodka or a bottle of water. They'll be doing it for a laugh, and they'll think they're steaming, so you can just switch the bottles out. You know what I mean?
Just rub a bit of vodka around the rim.
Then you can drink it at home. I had another question that's completely ran from my mind. Jack, do you have any one that's ran away from my head?
Can't even think.
That's a fresh fade there, Cat. Jack, where did you get that?
I'll give it a bit.
What's that? Calman
Calman Barbers.
Calman Barbers.
We'll link it below, and I will link it this thing. They're also going to link stuff in a camp for.
Let me see.
It was bad. I had a question right there and I totally forgot it.
I can't even read my writing right enough, so I don't even know if I'm going to get it.
That's a fresh.
Oh, that's what I was saying. Do you have pals with Wayne's that are of the same age as your kids?
Aye. I've got my pals Lauren and Josh. They've got their wee guy Kai. He's a wee 6 months older than Charlie, I think. Round a bit.
So we use hang about with them and that. Also, it's lockdown.
Aye. It's good to introduce Charlie to like other babies, because obviously see during lockdown and that he's getting no chance. I mean, any babies unless it's in the family or friends.
Yeah.
So it's good to kind of get him used to somebody else kind of similar age he's been about. And obviously it'll be good for Kai as well to kind of adapt to a baby being there. You know what I mean?
But you're at you pals?
Aye, mate, we've got plenty. Like, obviously, Teddy's birthday party, there's fucking hundreds of Wayne's, man. Like, we'll literally trip him up at Wayne's, so he's obviously got that there. Like, tend to that way now, so that's really good for his development. So it is.
Is Teddy at nursery? No, is it?
No, because of the lockdown, I don't even really know what happens with all that stuff.
What age do you start working in nursery? Sam,
I just
what age, Teddy?
just crawled in through the door.
Oh, good man. Aye, is he going to? What happens with that? Is that a kind of sit down thing, or does he just go local, or do you need to eye up all the options?
I think if like you can send it to like a private nurse, but you need to pay for that. But obviously, I think what the nurse that the likes of me and you went to, I think it's like 4.
Aye, that's what I was for. So
But you can
just cut about the house until then.
no, you can like obviously like send them to nursery, like if you're like, really busy and you need that.
Aye.
But there's big waiting lists and all that. I think I really honestly don't know too much about it.
It's mental. Aye, my old boss, her Wayne went to nursery, but it was like 50 quid a day or something mental. Like, she ended up just going to work to pay for the nursery when she could just have stayed at home with Wayne and not going to work. Like,
Your money maker, man, and then see the cunts that work in there, they're getting actual shite wages as well.
I know, you need to own it, and see if you own it, make a fucking boss. I'm pretty happy with that. I don't know about you, Jack.
Yeah, man. I think we just covered all of it, basically, so, no, I'm saying with that.
Happy days. Do you want to add anything?
No, I'm saying, mate.
Nah, I'm fine, mate. I'm happy to be here, happy to be on.
Good stuff. At Cam Hannah Barbara, I'll be linked below.
I like the
Like
whole
Rab's Insta as well. Fuck you, you can't follow with me.
You want funny
But-
pictures?
Yeah, funny pictures of the boys. No, Instagram's with me. Thanks for coming on, it was brilliant. Thanks, Rab.
No problem, lads. Thanks for
Thank
having
you.
me on.
Oh, mate, it's been class being on, mate. Cheers for having us.
Good stuff. And thank you for being here once again, Jack.
No,
And
man.
we'll see you next Sunday at 7, where we're drawing with